At the start of the film, a woman named Emily is shown arriving at a prison to meet her husband Martin. Martin is an inmate. After the meeting, Emily leaves and goes to her workplace. There, she tells her boss that she will not come to work the next day because it is a very big day for her. Her boss understands her situation and grants her leave. Here we learn that Martin is in prison because of some illegal activity related to the stock market. The next day, Emily happily arrives at the prison with her mother-in-law because it is Martin's release day. Both of them meet him with smiles, and then the two of them return to their apartment, where they spend time together after a long period apart. After some time, Martin tells Emily about a fellow inmate from prison who is very rich and says that he will be released soon. Martin promises that they will regain their lost wealth, but Emily does not seem happy with what he says. The next morning, Emily sits in her car, ready to go somewhere, but suddenly something happens, and she crashes her car into a wall. In the next scene, we meet Dr. Jonathan Banks, who is a psychiatrist. He comes to talk to Emily, who survived the accident. The doctor realizes that Emily caused the accident intentionally and asks her what is troubling her, but Emily gives no answer. The doctor advises her to stay in the hospital for a few days, but Emily says that she needs to go to her husband, who has been released after 4 years. Emily promises that she will not harm herself again and also agrees to regular checkups. Dr. Jonathan discharges her from the hospital, but prescribes some medicines to help with her sadness. A few days later, a scene shows Emily coming again to Dr. Jonathan for a therapy session. During the conversation, Emily tells him that she met Martin when she came to New York to study graphic designing. At that time, she was only 23 years old, and they got married immediately. The doctor asks her if she had received treatment before, and Emily tells him that she used to go to Dr. Victoria. Jonathan meets Dr. Victoria, who tells him that Emily used to live a very wealthy life, but after her husband went to prison, everything was taken away, and she fell into depression. Dr. Jonathan tells her that Emily's mental condition is still not stable, so Victoria suggests a new medicine called Ablixa, which had shown good results in other patients. A few days later, Emily goes to a big party with Martin. There, Emily starts feeling anxious and goes alone to the bar, where she suddenly begins to cry because of her circumstances. Martin comforts her and takes her away from there. In the next scene, Emily is standing at a subway station, looking at an advertisement for the medicine Ablixa, when she suddenly starts moving toward the train tracks as if she wants to end her life. But a security officer grabs her in time and pulls her back. On the other side, Dr. Jonathan is with his wife Deirdre when Emily arrives there, and, in a panicked manner, tells him that she just tried to commit suicide. Seeing the seriousness of the situation, the doctor sends his wife away and takes Emily to a hotel. There, he tries to encourage her. Emily says that she cannot take the old medicine anymore because it makes her dizzy and prevents her from sleeping. She tells him that a co-worker friend of hers, Julia, told her about another medicine called Ablixa. The doctor remembers that Dr. Victoria had also mentioned the same medicine, so he allows Emily to start taking it. Emily then buys the same Ablixa from a medical store. After starting the new medicine, Emily's condition begins to improve, and Martin also feels relieved seeing her happy. Both of them try to fix their lives again, but one night, in the middle of the night, Emily suddenly plays music at a very loud volume, which wakes Martin up. He sees that Emily has set breakfast on the table, which surprises him. At that moment, he realizes that perhaps Emily is sleepwalking due to the effect of the medicine. The next day, Martin goes to the doctor and expresses his concern about this. Martin wants Emily to stop taking the medicine, but Emily refuses, saying that the medicine is improving her condition. Left with no choice, the doctor prescribes some additional medicines to stop her from sleepwalking. The next day, Martin prepares to leave for a business trip and tells Emily that they might have to shift to Houston for a new job. Then he leaves. A few days later, when Martin returns from the trip, he sees that food for 3 people is set on the table, which confuses him. He is surprised to see that Emily is very calmly chopping vegetables. When he goes closer to her, Emily suddenly stabs him multiple times with a knife. Martin cries out for help, but within a short time, he dies. Even after such a huge incident, Emily remains completely calm and goes to her bed and falls asleep. After a while, the police arrive and take Martin's body away. They ask Emily what happened, but Emily says that she remembers nothing. She only found her husband dead. Shortly after the incident, Dr. Jonathan arrives at the police station. There, he is shocked to learn that Emily has been arrested on charges of murdering her own husband. The public prosecutor asks Jonathan about Emily's mental condition and her behavior over the past few days. Jonathan says that it is possible she was sleepwalking at the time of the murder, because this can be a side effect of the medicines she was taking. The prosecutor clearly warns him that if Emily is a murderer, then the case is very clear. But if she is a victim of wrong treatment, then all the blame will fall on the doctor. This deeply worries Jonathan, but he responds that the matter is not as simple as it appears. Later, Jonathan meets Emily in jail and asks her some questions, but Emily still says that she remembers nothing about what happened that night, and she cries and says that she does not want to take any more pills or medicines. Worried, Jonathan goes to meet Dr. Victoria to seek her opinion on the matter. Victoria calmly reassures him, saying that a doctor cannot control what actions a patient may take, so he should not worry. Jonathan fears that Emily will be punished, but Victoria says that since her memory is gone, the court will not punish her. On the other hand, Martin's mother comes to meet Emily. She is completely broken by her son's death. With tears in her eyes, she asks Emily how all this happened, but Emily repeats the same thing, that she remembers nothing, and that everything happened because of the drug Oblixa. She tells her that she has prepared a written statement, so that other people can be saved from the dangerous effects of this medicine. In the next scene, Martin's mother is shown on television reading Emily's letter, in which Emily apologizes for the incident. She says that no one else should have to go through this pain, and she places all the blame for her condition on the medicine. Unfortunately, Emily's public statement completely destroys Dr. Jonathan's reputation, because he was the one who recommended the medicine. The next morning, a crowd of news reporters gathers outside his office and home, asking questions about Emily. This disgrace also affects his family, and it becomes difficult for him to even leave his house peacefully. Now, for Dr. Jonathan, proving his innocence becomes a matter of life and death. A few days later, a court hearing takes place, where Emily's lawyer argues that she was not in her senses at the time of the murder, and therefore she should be acquitted of all charges. Jonathan also testifies in court that Emily suffers from sleepwalking episodes and that she is not a danger to anyone. After the trial, the court announces its verdict that Emily is not guilty of murder, but she will be kept confined in a hospital until it is certain that she will no longer harm anyone. Emily appears unhappy with this decision and blames the medicine, but she has no choice except to accept the court's ruling. On the other hand, Jonathan faces pressure from his firm, which accuses him of destroying the firm's reputation. Obsessed with clearing his name, he conducts further research about the medicine and finds an article written by Dr. Victoria that details the dangerous side effects of this drug. In anger, Jonathan goes to Victoria and asks why she did not inform him earlier, but Victoria instead blames him, saying that despite complaints of sleepwalking, he did not stop Emily's medication. After this, Jonathan searches for the garage worker who witnessed Emily's first accident. There, he is shocked to learn that at the time of the accident, Emily was wearing her seatbelt, which means she did not want to die, and that the whole incident was an act. As his suspicion grows, Jonathan goes to Emily's office and tries to find her co-worker Julia, who had told her about the medicine, but no record of any woman by that name is found there. That same evening, he receives another shocking piece of news. Wall Street businessmen are talking about how the medicine company is collapsing, and how the shares of its rival company have suddenly skyrocketed. Now, Jonathan becomes certain that all of this is part of a very big conspiracy. The next day, Jonathan meets Emily in jail and tells her that he wants to give her a truth serum injection so that another piece of evidence proving her innocence can be presented in court. He assures her that it will make her feel calm and that she will fall asleep afterward. Emily hesitates at first but then agrees. After giving the injection, Jonathan asks her general questions, which she answers correctly, and everything is being recorded on camera. But as soon as he asks about the actual incident, Emily starts feeling sleepy and falls asleep. After that, Jonathan shows the video to the public prosecutor and tells him that he did not give Emily any special drug, but only injected water. Despite this, Emily falling asleep proves that she had been pretending to sleep all along and that she had been lying from the very beginning. Jonathan demands that she be arrested again, but the public prosecutor is so tired of the case that he refuses to take any further action. He says that the case is closed, and reopening it would bring disgrace to their own institution, so he advises the doctor to forget everything and move on with his life. Dr. Jonathan appears to give up and goes to the hospital to meet Emily one last time, but there he is shocked again when he sees Dr. Victoria's name on the visitor list. He immediately goes to Victoria and asks her why she is there. Victoria replies that Emily herself had called her. After Jonathan leaves, Victoria takes out some photographs from a box, showing Emily and Dr. Jonathan together in a hotel. Victoria uses these photos to blackmail Jonathan, so that she can completely disgrace him and silence him. When Jonathan reaches home, his wife has already seen all the photographs. She is leaving him, while Jonathan tries to convince her that all this was done to trap him, but she does not listen to a single word and walks out of the house. That same night, Dr. Victoria sends a message calling Jonathan to meet her. When he arrives there, Victoria threatens him that if he does not stop pursuing the case, she will destroy whatever remains of his career. But instead of backing down, Jonathan plays a clever move and claims that he already knows everything, because Emily has told him the entire truth. Dr. Jonathan's trick works, and Victoria suddenly becomes furious. Shouting angrily, she tells Jonathan to leave and let her and Emily deal with their own situation. The next day, Jonathan arrives at the hospital and gives strict instructions to the staff that no one is allowed to speak to Emily without his permission. He then tells Emily that since she is refusing to take her medicines, they have decided to give her electric shock therapy, also known as shock treatment. Hearing this, Emily becomes disturbed and says that she no longer wants him to be her doctor. But Jonathan is not affected and tells her that the idea of shock treatment was given to him by Dr. Victoria. Hearing this, Emily is shocked. After Jonathan leaves, Emily panics and asks the warden for permission to make a phone call, but when she is stopped, she starts screaming angrily. Seeing her condition, she is given a sedative injection to calm her down. On the other hand, Jonathan calls Victoria and tells her that he wants to meet her. The next day, Emily is looking out of the window when she sees Victoria. She thinks that perhaps Victoria has come to save her, but when she sees Victoria meeting Jonathan, she becomes anxious. Jonathan tells Victoria that for some reason Emily wants to appear before the judge this week. Hearing this, Victoria also becomes worried, but Jonathan assures her that he has a plan that will benefit all of them. After finishing their conversation, both of them leave, while Emily becomes restless after seeing all this. The next day, Jonathan comes to Emily with more medicines. At this point, Emily feels that Victoria has betrayed her, so she decides to end her act and reveals the entire truth. Then, in a flashback, it is shown that Emily was happy with her wealthy husband, but suddenly the FBI arrested Martin, and everything was taken away from Emily. This shock pushed her into depression, and she went to Dr. Victoria for treatment, where over time a physical relationship developed between the two of them. It was Victoria who taught Emily how to fake a mental illness. Together, they planned that Emily would pretend to love Martin and act as if she was suffering from severe depression, and then she would kill him. They also staged the side effects of the drug Ablixa, so that no blame would fall on Emily, and she would escape punishment. One purpose of this plan was also to crash the drug company's shares and make huge profits from another company. Emily says that she never took any medicine, and that Ablixa had no effect on her at all. She also says that she attempted suicide, only at places where people were present, so that they could become witnesses to her act. Hearing all this, Jonathan is shocked, and Emily requests him to get her out of there. She assures him that she will give him a share from the money earned through this scheme. At the next hearing, Jonathan testifies in court that Emily is now mentally completely stable and capable of living among people. The court orders Emily's release under Jonathan's supervision. As soon as she is freed, Emily immediately goes to Victoria, and both of them celebrate their success. Victoria asks her whether she told Jonathan anything, to which Emily clearly denies it. When Emily asks about the money, Victoria tells her that all the money is safely stored in 2 bank accounts in Dubai. At the same time, Victoria notices a microphone hidden under Emily's clothes. She accuses Emily of betrayal. As Victoria tries to leave, the police surround her outside and arrest her. The next day, Emily comes to Jonathan's office, thinking that she is now free, but Jonathan prescribes her some new medicines and tells her to get tests done every week. He warns her that if she does not follow his orders, he will send her back to the hospital. Emily becomes furious and calls him a traitor. As soon as Emily steps out of the office, she sees a lawyer and Martin's mother. They have now learned that Martin was killed deliberately. Emily tries to run away, but the police catch her again outside. At the end of the story, it is shown that Dr. Jonathan starts living happily again with his family, and his life returns to normal. On the other hand, Emily is shown sitting silently in a room of a mental patient's hospital, and the story ends there.